All right, bro. So you need to realize that making money is a system. And how does a system work? Well, a system has an input, a process, and an output, right? So if you want to make money, which is the output, you need to change the input and the process. So what is the input of this system? Well, it's your decisions, right? Because if you make the wrong decision, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do. Now, what is the process? The process is your productivity. So when you're working, you need to be productive because even though you might work on the right things, if you're not productive, if you're not focused, then you're fucked. So in this course, I'm going to teach you how to double your work output and skyrocket your income in 30 days or less. So here's what we're going to talk about, right? We're going to talk about the truth about productivity, why productivity isn't everything, and why you're not as productive as you actually think you are, and why it's not about the strategy and tactics of your business. So imagine this course could only save you 8 hours of your time. Of course, it would be worth it, right? But this course is not going to save you 8 hours. It's going to save you way more, bro. So I actually want you to make a promise to me right now that you're going to watch this course until the end. All right. And in order to do that, I want you to close all other tabs. Give this course your full attention. Put your phone away. Like, remove all the distractions from your desk right now. Like, I want you to give this your full attention, right? So I actually promise that this course is going to change your life if you actually let it. If you actually decide to close all other tabs, give this your full attention. Okay. My goal is to make you a completely different person after watching this. I want to transform you from going to a person that actually think he's productive but actually isn't productive to the person that is always searching for more but will become very fucking productive, will make the right decisions and will know how to actually learn effectively. Okay? So even if you have no experience or you feel like you're very productive and you don't need this, I guarantee you will still need help a lot, bro. So the tactics and strategies that you're going to get are exact same strategies and methods that I have used to make over thousands online at age 17. And here's a little bit of proof from the payment plans I did, right? So I'm going to teach you how to combine different things like relationships, working out, keeping your friendships, also doing like maybe you have another sport. Like for me, my sport is kickboxing, right? So I'm going to learn you. Sorry, I'm going to teach you how to combine things like making money and all these different things at the same time. Okay, so here's a little bit of proof to why you should listen to me. This is a guy that I worked with, and he said, "I don't know about you, but I haven't had better skin in 2 to 3 months. Literally, almost zero acne on my face, and I think it's all because of you and your accountability. Also, I don't even get as many urges, and even when I do get urges now, they are sexually associated. It's not even about me fapping, but me literally fucking a girl. So." Yeah, I wanted to thank you again. I'm really getting big momentum right now. Also, I think I've never been this productive in my entire life after adding my timetable also because of you. So yeah, bro, thank you for doing all of this. Just so you know, you've changed at least one person's life. Bro, don't you think that's fucking sick that I could help this person become as productive as like more productive than he's ever been before? Like sorry, more productive. Yeah, so more productive than he's ever been before. Don't you think that's fucking sick, bro? Wouldn't you want the same as well? That you're like, imagine you could get more productive than you could have ever been before. That would be fucking sick, right? Now, here's what happens when you become more present and all that stuff as well, right? People feel like you actually listen to them with your full attention, and they will smell that you're on your dopamine detox. I know you have all these big goals and big dreams of making a lot of money, traveling the world, and all that stuff. And I'm here to tell you that you can 100% achieve them if you know how. The problem is that no productivity guru is teaching you the right things. They're either teaching you about the very basics or the geek stuff. So this is you, right? And this is your goal. Now, you probably already know about the basics of productivity, like, oh, get a nice sleep schedule, bro. Like, eat the right things, bro. Like, stop eating like your bullshit food and all that stuff. You already know about these things. I'm not going to teach you about that. But then on the other side, you have like the kind of like the geeks. These people talk about shit like lectins, nightshades, unbound irons, zeolites, all these things that, of course, they help, but they're not going to make you rich. This is not the constraint for you to make 10K a month. So, if your goal is to make 10K a month, you shouldn't be learning about this. Of course, it does help, but it's not your constraint. So, I wanted to teach you your constraint. I wanted to teach you exactly what is holding you back, and I don't want to teach you this stuff just to boost my own ego, because the basics won't make you rich, but the geek stuff won't make you rich as well. Okay, so the reason they're teaching this is because they want to sound professional, they want to stroke their ego, but you don't want to learn from these people, right? So right now I'm going to teach you exactly what you need. No fluff, no bullshit, nothing to stroke my ego. Okay, so who's this actually for? This course is for entrepreneurs who are serious about monetizing their business. This course is for entrepreneurs who, oh fuck, that was a typo, but entrepreneurs who are already monetized but feel stuck and want to scale it without friction. Entrepreneurs that value their time and want to balance it with different things like gym or sport. Okay? So if you're an entrepreneur and you want to scale your business effortlessly without friction, this is perfect for you. Because 9 months ago, I dropped out of school. You see here, like, I graduated high school. Everybody around me went to like university or whatever the fuck you want to call it. um this was expected from me as well. In fact, this is actually obligated for people that are below 18 in my country, but because I had like some, I don't know, some different grades, I could actually drop out. Think about that. I was switching from making blog posts, drop shipping, print on demand, Fiverr, YouTube, Amazon, eBay. I even tried to start my own Instagram. And I was trying to find the right business model that I could make money with. And with every single business model, I failed. I lost money and time. But worst of all, I lost faith in myself. So imagine you're like here, right? And you're thinking like, oh, this is going to be so easy. Let me just make some quick money and all that stuff. And then every single time you start your new business model and you fuck up, you just lose faith in yourself over and over and over again. And when I dropped out, I had 5 subs on YouTube. I made zero money online. And I felt hopeless because I knew I didn't want to live like this. I started looking what people I looked up to were doing. And I bought courses. What I realized is that every single one of them focused a lot on their performance. So then I started looking for all these ways to increase my performance as well, because I was like, if every successful person that I look up to is doing this, who am I not to do this, right? So I bought books about performance. I even spent thousands of hours watching YouTube and listening to podcasts about performance. Like, like the Huberman podcast, the Deep Work books, like all these different books, right? And I started my dopamine detox as well. I stopped listening to things like video games, porn, junk food, social media, music, other basic habits like cold showers, meditation, visualization, all these different things, right? And I started making thousands online. I even helped others do the exact same as well. I could travel wherever I want. I lived the life that I always wanted to live, and I felt better and more energized than ever before. And I was able to quit my sales job after 5 months of working there as well. But the problem is that once I started making money, I started thinking about things like, this isn't worth my time. Like these productivity hacks and all that stuff, they're not worth my time. I can just sleep in and all that stuff. Um, I wanted to live life more. That was literally what I was telling myself. Like, oh, I'm not living life enough. I should stop working so hard and all that stuff. And I started staying up later with my girlfriend, for example. I woke up at times like 11 p.m. and I started watching way more YouTube as well. At some point, my screen time even went about 5 hours a day, bro. Look at this. And I even started relapsing again. My business dropped like crazy. I started making less and less money. And my business went from over 1,000 a month to below $400 a month. Think about that. But the problem was that I was still spending a lot of money on courses. So I was spending a lot of money on courses, but my income actually dropped. And that's when I got into debt. The next month, I made around $300. And I felt fucked, bro. I knew I had to do something, but I just couldn't figure out what what to change, right? And this was whilst all my friends were scaling to 5K a month, while I was sitting there lowering my income. So think about that. You both start making like thousands online together, and then they are like going to 5K a month, and you're lowering your income. Bro, that's feeling fucked, bro. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like my parents started getting angry again at me, like telling me I should get a job again and all that stuff. They started screaming at me, like all that different stuff, right? um then one day I was actually watching a video from Sam Ovens, and he said that it wasn't about the tactics. He said that the most important thing was your habits, your identity, and your belief system. And back then, I thought the only important thing was your habits, right? I thought it was about the processes, the tools, and the skills. But what I learned is that it was about your ability to learn your habits, your belief, your self image, all these different things. So I was actually focused on these things. But when I was watching this video, I realized that it was about these things. It was like you need to have a foundation before you actually begin building the top, right? So I see this as a tree. You need to have like a good, like I don't know how I say it. I think it's a stem. I don't know, but you need to have like a good foundation before you build out the branches and the leaves and all that stuff. So I see your skills as the branches, and I see these things as the leaves. And this is like the core. These things are the core of you, of your business. You don't. There's this quote from Sam Ovens that says, "You don't have business problems. You have personal problems that manifest into your business." But then I started to observe what I did to make money, and what the people that I looked up to did were doing to make money. And I started looking at people like Hamza, Iman Godji, Luca and Nate Belmar. Even though all these people not only focus on productivity, they focused on mindset as well. And I noticed a pattern. I started reading different books like Think and Grow Rich and Psycho Cybernetics and all these mindset books. And I was fucking sold, bro. I started investing thousands into courses and mentorships programs, and I realized how little I knew about mindset and productivity. So I started asking myself, what is the reason that some people succeed whilst they get the same information, but others don't? And that's when I realized that it was about your ability to learn. But being able to learn wasn't enough, because you need to learn about the right things. If you learn about leaves, for example, that's not going to make you rich, right? And I realized that every single person that made over 10K had to be productive. They had to be. And they had to be disciplined in order to get the work done as well. But I realized that it didn't matter how productive you were if you didn't even work on the right things. So imagine you have this big task that you should be doing and you know you should be doing, but you're focusing on these like smaller tasks. This is what it would look like. So I started asking myself, what causes people to work on the right things? And I realized it's their decisions. And what is the thing that influences the decisions that people make? It's their mindset and their mental models and the way they look at the world. So, as my mentor Charlie Morgan taught me, is that your beliefs they create the thoughts and emotions. Your thoughts and emotions they create the decisions. Our decisions create the action, and your action creates the behavior, which causes the lifestyle. So, for example, right? Imagine I feel very scared to give a presentation. That's my belief is that I'm very bad at giving presentations. Then my thoughts and emotions will be that I'm scared to give a presentation. I'm like shaking and all that stuff. Then my decisions will be when somebody will now ask me to give me or to give a presentation. I'll say no, no, I'm not really good at presentations. My actions will then be that I'm not giving presentations, right? Which causes my behavior to be the guy that doesn't give presentations, and my lifestyle will then be that I keep being bad at presentations because I don't practice the skill. But now when I feel like I'm good at giving presentations, my thoughts and emotions will be when somebody asks me, would you want to give a presentations? I'm like, yeah, bro, let's fucking do it, right? So I will then practice giving presentations, which means that my lifestyle and my presentation ability overall will be better. Why? Because I practice giving presentations compared to the guy that feels like he's bad at presentations, so he doesn't do it. But now, imagine it's the exact same scenario. Two people need to give a presentation, and one person thinks he's bad at presentations, while the other thinks he's very good at presentations, right? Now, when the entire crowd is silent, what is the first person going to think? He's going to think like, "Ah, fuck, everybody is silent because they're bored. They're not listening to me. They don't like my presentation, and that's why they're silent," right? And he gets like shaky, and he is going to keep overthinking his shit and all that stuff. Whilst the second person, whilst the exact in the exact same crowd, the exact same silence, he's going to think, "Oh, but they're silent because they're listening to me. They're actively listening to me." When he sees somebody on his phone, he thinks, "Oh, he's taking notes." While the other person sees somebody on his phone, and he's going to think, "Ah, he's on his phone because he's bored. He's probably just playing some random game or something like that." You see how this is a completely different mindset. How you look at the world is how you perceive the world is actually always true. So that's why it's so important to fix your beliefs, bro. So I started applying all these things to my own personal life because I got focused on my mindset. My productivity actually went up as well because it's like I started focusing on the right things. And I think productivity isn't only about adding things to your life. I think it's actually more about removing things. And this is kind of like, for example, this is one of the mindset shifts that I had about productivity, that it was not about adding cold showers, meditation, morning sunlight, 5 liters of water, and all that stuff to your life. It was more about what can I remove. And when I had that mindset shift, I became way more productive as well, even though I didn't focus on productivity in and of itself. And this is why I think that all these productivity people online, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, because they only talk about, oh, this is how you can add like some very complex system to your life or anything like that. You don't need that shit. You need to keep things simple. And I got 10 times more work done in way less time. And this is just one mindset shift, of course, right? Of course, I had like dozens of mindset shifts. And the people that I was actually in class with had to pay to go to school whilst I was making money online. Why? It was because of the decisions that I made. And this month, because I started focusing on not only my productivity but my mindset as well, I made more money in one day than I did in the last month. Here's what happened. And then I wanted to see if this actually worked for other people as well. So I started helping people out with their beliefs, and they all got way better results. They felt way more energized, and making money just became effortless to them. Imagine what your life would look like if you would be energized every single day, but most of all, most important of all, your output would increase like crazy. How would your life look like? That would be sick, right? So, for example, I'll Darius make $1,500 with his NoFap coaching after 1 week of working together. Imagine you could make $1,500 in a single fucking week. That would be fucking insane, right? Aren't you fucking hyped for this guy? Like, imagine you could do the same. That would be crazy. So I also helped Danny sign his first paying client within 7 days as a productivity coach. I even helped Dennis and Daniel make $600 in their first month as a mental health coach. And this was all like, for example, people like Darius was still in school. Danny had a job and was in school at the same time. And Dennis and Daniel were actually in school as well. So if you come here to me and you say like, "Oh, but my constraint is like school or anything like that," no, that's not your constraint. Your constraint is that you don't know how to combine school and your business at the same time. Your constraint is that you don't know how to study effectively and spend time on your business at the same time. Because if I could teach you how to start a business within 5 hours a week, working 5 hours a week, you could do it. I guarantee you could do it. But you just don't know how to start a business within 5 hours a week. So your constraint is not that you don't know how to start a business whilst in school. Your constraint is that you don't know how to combine these things. Or like it's the same with your job, right? I made money whilst I was in a sales job as well. So it doesn't matter how many courses and books you're learning from, if you can actually remember it. So this was me, right? I was buying all these courses for thousands of dollars, but I didn't even remember them. I didn't learn how to learn effectively before I did that. So it also doesn't matter how many hours you're working if they're unproductive. So you see a lot of people, they say like, "Oh yeah, I'm working like 12 hours a day and all that stuff." Yeah, but you're not productive, because if they would be productive, you'd be making money guaranteed. But then it also doesn't matter how many productive hours you're working if it's towards the wrong things. So based on that, here's the framework that I created that I believe every single entrepreneur should follow. And it starts all with learning how to learn. Because if you don't learn how to learn, nothing is going to help you. No course, no book, nothing is going to help you. Now, the second thing is you actually should fix your productivity, your habits, and your focus. Because, yeah, sure, you could be working all these hours. You could be this guy that does everything right. But if you can't even work effectively, you're fucked. And the third step is you need to fix your beliefs, your mental model, and your self image. If you don't believe that you can actually do it, then you can't. And I know this is like some cliche bullshit that everybody is saying, but it's the truth, bro. If I didn't believe in myself, in my own capabilities, I wouldn't sit here today. Why? Because I would give up already. And the fourth is your business tips and tricks like marketing, sales, all that stuff, right? So here's what it looks like. You have the root of what to focus on, which are your personal problems. And then you have your business problems, which are these things. So I already told you, if you have personal problems, or you don't have business problems, you have personal problems that manifest in your business. So imagine this: the roots of this shit, of this tree, are rotten, right? The entire tree is going to be rotten as well. So you need to have a foundation. You need to have a strong foundation in order to build the rest. There's this quote that says that a pyramid is only as strong as its base is. And it's so fucking true, bro. So stop focusing on like, oh my, how to change your sales, like your sales script and all that stuff. No, you need to focus on how to learn your habits, your beliefs, your self-image, how to solve problems, all that stuff, right? So by now you might be thinking that you're very productive already. I actually used to think the same as well. But then I actually started diving way deeper into this shit. And I also realized that my single constraint was the beliefs I had and my productivity, not my knowledge about sales or lead generation or anything like that, right? So I noticed that a lot of people, like everybody online that made 10K a month, is saying that your hashtag one constraint, your number one constraint, is your productivity, your beliefs. But instead, even though you might agree with them, you're thinking like, oh, I'm already productive, so that doesn't count for me. You feel like you're like, this is what Alex Ramosi talks about. You feel like a special snowflake. You feel like you're special, but you're not. You need to realize that it's not about the knowledge that you have about sales or lead generation or anything like that, right? And this is what I used to focus on as well. So I'm trying to slap you in the face and wake you up to reality and make you realize that you're not special. You're not you might agree with that your constraint is like productivity and beliefs, because everybody online is saying that. Look at like Hamza, Iman Godji, like all these people. And even though you agree, you feel special. You feel like you're already very productive because you're meditating and you're reading and all that stuff. But that's not true. Because think about your days, right? How does your day look like? Can you actually sit down and work for 4 hours straight, then eat, then work for like 3 hours straight again, then have like a little pause and then work again? No. So you're like, you're there, you're, I don't know, you're probably not edging anymore or something like that, but you're probably like, I don't know, filling up your water bottles. Maybe you do actually check your notifications because you feel like it's important. Maybe you're, I don't know, you're just flexing. Maybe you're just looking around. You're probably not focused, right? So when I actually started diving deeper into this and I started listening to people like Andrew Huberman, I bought like books like Deep Work and all that stuff, and I spent thousands on courses about mindset and productivity. That is when I learned a lot of new things about productivity that I never saw in a book or a YouTube video. Because before this shit, I was only buying books and YouTube videos. Or I wasn't buying YouTube videos, but I was buying books and I was watching YouTube videos. And I thought that I knew everything about productivity, but this wasn't true. And then I wanted to see if I was the only one who thought they knew a lot about productivity already. It wasn't true, or if there might be more people. So I started hitting people up that already knew a lot about dopamine detox, productivity, and mindset, and I started helping them as well. So this was in places like, for example, Donna School, right? You'd expect that everybody already is like meditating and all that stuff. So people were already meditating, people were already on dopamine detox, people already know like the basics mindset stuff of like, I don't know, find your constraint and those things, right? And I started helping those people as well. And after a little while, I saw a big change in their behavior. So this is, for example, one guy, right? He said, before working with Luca, I'm being coached by him. I thought I was honestly in a good place. And before I even going to read this shit to you, I wanted to tell you, this guy was already like running marathons and all that shit, right? So he was already like jacked and all that stuff. So it wasn't that he was eating shit or something like that. So he thought he was honestly in a good place. He said I was working hard on my business. I had a good physique and I was mentally really happy. But it was only after discovering him and his work that I truly understood where I was. Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. After working with him for only a week, not only did I get rid of all my addictions that were holding me back for ages, but I also got the most productive that I've ever been in my entire fucking life. Literally, I've done more work in the past week than I did in the 3 months. And guess what? It was all thanks to Luca. If you want to die as a mediocre person in this world, then go as further as possible away from Luca. But if you want to achieve something in your life, become successful and fulfilled, then I would 100% recommend Luca. Think about that. He already thought he was productive, but then I helped him define his actual problems. I helped him define why he had these certain problems. And then I helped him make a lot of money, right? Because this guy was, I don't know, I think he was like a website designer. And before this, he didn't make money, but now he made a lot of money with that shit as well. He sent me his websites and they look like fucking sick as well. So, yeah, man. If you knew everything about productivity and mindset already, then you would have reached your goal already. But the problem is that you don't know everything about productivity and mindset yet. So again, bro, your path, this thing, is more your productivity, your mindset, and your ability to learn, and not like your typical like lectins, nightshades, all that stuff. So you might be thinking, but Luca, what about the specific tactics of my business? I'm dropshipping. What if I don't make my website like 1% better every single day? Let me tell you a story. Because a couple of days ago, I was at my grandparents' house because I couldn't work at my own house anymore. So I ate breakfast at my grandparents' house and I ate dinner there as well. And even though they already knew about my diet, they got me a lot of eggs and blueberries, which was like very wholesome. I also got a lot of bread and Chinese food like noodles and stuff and oats as well. And the next day, bro, I felt fucking tired. I noticed my thoughts were going all over the place, and my output decreased like crazy as well. I literally got so many thoughts whilst working, which I normally never have. And this was a night and day difference. And based on that, I realized the importance of like a solid diet, high quality food, but also I was out of my usual routine, right? And I think that really helped as well. So yeah, bro. Like I realized the importance of diet, food, but also like routines and habits and all that stuff, right? And this was a night and day difference. And based on that, yeah, bro. So I normally I would just be talking, but this time I was actually talking whilst I was thinking at the same time, and it felt fucking weird, bro. I couldn't even focus on the sales call I had. Think about that. Think like I was actually like on a sales call, right? And whilst the guy was talking, I was thinking about different things. I was thinking about, I don't know, like all these different things, right? I was thinking about the weather. I was thinking about how I was sitting. I was thinking about all these weird things that didn't matter. Whilst normally I was just focused on a conversation that me and the guy would have. But this time, I just wasn't focused on that. So sure, you could have all these like different sales skills, but if you can't even focus on the conversation itself, you're fucked. So even whilst I was talking, right? Normally, right now when I'm talking, I have no thoughts in my mind. I literally have no thoughts in my mind. I'm just talking. But at that time, whilst I was talking, I was thinking about different things like, oh, what should we eat tonight? Oh, how the weather is so nice. Oh, like, look at the lake outside. And I was literally like looking around me and all that stuff. And it felt so fucking weird, bro. And I realized that it wasn't all about these business models because people were succeeding with any of these business models. It was about me. I was the problem. And there's a quote from Sam Ovens that I already told you about, which says you don't have have business problems. You have personal problems that manifest in your business. So then I started looking at what the people that I was looking up to were doing, and I realized they were all focused on their performance. And as the saying goes, a pyramid is only as strong as its basics. And all the people are teaching you the specifics of your business, but they don't teach you the basics. Look, people are focused on like the sales, the process, and the tools because this shit sells better, right? But nobody is teaching you about these things that are actually important. So You already know that you're gonna be successful, right? You already know that. If I would tell you like, oh yeah, if you just stick to it for 10 to 20 years, would you be successful? Of course you would. So the only question is, how long will it take you to become successful? Because you can get anything back in this world except for time. Even if you lose someone, you lose the time that you actually spend with them. So my question for you is, would you feel comfortable and good if you had to spend 10 years before you became rich? Because I believe that business is all about saving time and then spending your time better than your competition. And I think that's why saving time is so important. And a change that really helped me was putting a dollar mark on my hours. So for example, if I tell myself 1 hour of my time is worth $200, which is actually true, then when I'm going somewhere and it takes me 30 minutes, I literally tell myself I lost $100. And this helps me become way more conscious of my time. And I think that you should do the exact same as well. And right now you have two options. So before this, I actually want to ask you, what is your dollar? What is the amount of, what is the dollar sign that you put on your hours? So your first option is to waste hours upon hours trying to find the perfect productivity system, mental models, and the beliefs, right? Or you could learn from somebody who mastered it for himself and then helped over 70 people with the same things, which is the reason that my clients are making thousands a month. And if you're smart and you choose the second option, this is what it will look like. I'm going to teach you how to remember 30% more when learning in the same or less, even less time, so you don't waste time. I will help you close 10 to 20% more of your sales calls, so you will make more money with the exact same effort. Think, how would your life look like if you could close 10, if you could make 10 to 20% more income with the exact same effort? I will teach you exactly how to make decisions which will save you at least 15 hours a week. I will help you optimize your brain and energy levels without having to buy expensive shit like carnivore diet, aura or whoop. I'll teach you exactly how to track your output for free. Okay, so this is all in recorded video content, checklist, trackers, book lists, and weekly Q&As that will help you save years of your life. And imagine that I could only help you make $3,000 extra. What would your life look like? Maybe you would want to travel the world. Maybe you would want to retire your parents, or at least give them some money. Maybe you just don't want to look at the prices of things anymore. Maybe you're just done with everybody telling you that you can make it and everybody not trusting you. And this is going to teach you everything that you need to know about the foundations of your business, and it will completely transform your life. This is for ambitious entrepreneurs who want to have a big competitive advantage over their competition. People who value their time and want to live the dream as soon as possible. People who are sick and tired of being in the same place over and over again. People that have a very busy life and want to learn how to combine things like school or job with entrepreneurship. Or people that want to save a lot of money, time, and pain. So, my question for you is, do you actually want to monetize or scale your business? If so, let's hop on a quick 30 to 45-minute call where I will see if you are where you are in your journey right now. So I will kind of diagnose your current situation, and then I will see where you actually want to be. So your goal, and then I will see what's stopping you from achieving that. And based on that, I will see if I can actually help you and if you're a good fit for the program. Um, I'll give you an actionable plan that you could actually execute on. Now, you've got two choices right now. The first thing is to do nothing and get nothing. And the second choice is to book a call. And even if you don't end up buying, I guarantee you it's going to be more valuable to book a call with me right now than a paid call with some of these like gurus that literally charge you for an hour of their time, whilst this free call is going to be worth more. And I expect around 25 people that want to book a call right now based on this video, right? But I only accept to book a call with 10. So make sure that you are quick. Also, the first 3 people that book a call with me will get a special bonus, and you don't want to miss that shit, bro. You might be thinking that you can't. Yeah, so just literally book a call right now, bro. I want you to book a call right now. You need to be fast, bro, because the first 3 people that book a call with me will get a special bonus. Make sure to be one of these 3 people because I guarantee you're going to fucking love that shit. Okay, so you might be thinking that you can't get started with this because you don't want me to tell you that you should invest in an aura, a whoop, or blood test, an expensive meat. But that is not true because I found a way to track that shit without spending money on an aura or a whoop. And I also found some diet hacks that will save you a lot of money. So if you don't, so like this will literally save you 1K a month that you spend into expensive food. And the real question is, would it be worth for you to spend 30 to 45 minutes of your time to see if I can actually help you and create a battle plan that you can use and will already save you hours? This call will literally save you hours, even if you don't even end up buying from me, even if you don't want to become part of the program. This will literally still save you hours, okay? So, to get something you never had, you must do something that you've never done before. Maybe you never scheduled a call with somebody like me before, but to get something that you never had, which is money, you need to do something that you've never done before, okay? So why would you not book a call? Like literally there's no reason to not book a conversation at this point. I will literally save you hours of your time. So book a call right now, bro. I'm going to end this video right here. Book a call right now. I'll see you in this call right now.